Very excited to introduce the product today, but we're going to start with Dominic, who's going to give you a high-level overview of the STARVARA game, and then Nick Vandenberg is going to take it over and run you through a high-level overview of the Star Horizon product. Over to you, Dom.
Cool. Thank you, Greg. Just to give a quick introduction of who I am. I'm Dominic Obojkovits. I've been in the gaming industry for well over a decade now. I've worked with industry giants such as Nintendo and Microsoft, and I'm very excited for this project, which represents the culmination of 3 years of hard work and is part of our vision to build out the best and biggest sci-fi video game with the goal of rivaling games like World of Warcraft, Minecraft, and Horizon Worlds, which, as you know, is Facebook's metaverse game. Without further ado, let me show you what we are working on. Let me know when you guys can see the share screen.
All good.
Cool. Yeah. So this is the character creation screen. This is where the user will create their avatar. For the demo purposes, there are only kind of three ones that we've built to choose, but every user will be able to generate their own avatar. They can make it based on themselves. They can make it as a fantasy version of themselves. It's highly customizable. All the clothes and items that you get in game, you'll see on your avatar as you dress them, and you'll be able to show them off to other people. As you can see here, this is our opening planet. It is a very naturally rich planet with thick vegetation. This is the sort of planet that players would go to gather raw materials. As you can see, I can come over here and I can start mining copper ore. All of the in-game assets are NFTs or ERC20 or ERC1155 tokens. So they're all interoperable on various blockchains, and you're able to trade them on secondary exchanges. Your wallet is immediately accessible in game at any point in time. So you can just open it up like that and scan the QR code if you want to send some crypto to it. Complete seamless integration, very easy to do. As we come around here, we can see our spaceship. You know, what is a space game without a spaceship? This is your mode of transportation. It's like your car and your access to the rest of the galaxy. As we climb in here, we can go from this small island on just one of our planets and tilt the ship upwards and expand out into space and get to see the vastness of the scale of the galaxy that we're creating. Our goal is to have over 100 planets on launch that players can visit that have various things for them to be able to do. On our left here, you can see some of these asteroids in this asteroid field with some blue crystals in them. Those are also resources players will be able to gather. They'll be able to have special mining spaceships that can go over and gather resources there. One of the advantages to having all of these resources on the blockchain and on these crypto backends is that we can create DeFi smart contracts that allow users to have speculative access to these virtual goods. So effectively, you could go long or short on rocket fuel in a game, which means as a non-gamer, you can interact with the STARVARA, gaming universe through these smart contracts, through this DeFi financial instrument layer, which is very exciting. And to talk a little bit about our secret sauce and how we've kind of made this all happen, we've developed a proprietary server technology where we've optimized the server communication protocols at a byte level to effectively reduce the size of encrypted packets from about 2048 bytes to 16 bytes per packet. And this has allowed us to realize a 140x reduction in server costs. This massive reduction not only allows us to serve this game to millions of players simultaneously at a fraction of the cost of any of our competitors, but it also allows us to pass those savings on to the consumer because the bandwidth usage of this game is incredibly low. So normally a game, we're using about 3 megabytes per hour bandwidth to play this fully connected, massively multiplayer game. If you compare that to something like Netflix, which is using 1 gigabyte an hour, you can see how much more accessible this game is. From an accessibility perspective, we will be bringing the game to PC, Mac, Linux, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, Android, iPhone. It'll be on your iPads as well. And it's also going to be coming to VR and AR. So you can imagine this whole desert scene is in VR. You can walk around it. You can see other people. You can interact with them. Very immersive experience. As we come around here, we can see our galactic exchange. This is where players will be able to buy and sell crypto in the game. Right in the full version, these will have live crypto tickers, so you'll be able to see the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum live in the game. You'll also be able to auction off your NFTs, your in-game assets, your Vara tokens, and your bonds at this Galactic Exchange. To talk a little bit about what bonds are. So bonds are our subscription mechanism. Effectively, the game is free to play and free to try, where certain solar systems you'll have access to, and the rest you'll need a premium membership for, which you'll gain through our bond, which is a tradable subscription. Users can buy the bond and trade it, but then they also burn the bond in exchange for membership. The bond is very important because it ties to our tokenomic model. Effectively, we have a Vara token, which is a limited supply deflationary token. And what happens is users are able to play the game through the bond, and 50% of the revenue generated from the bond will be dedicated to the tokenomics, where a third of that will be used to purchase Vara tokens and deflate the supply. And the remaining 2/3 will actually be distributed to those who are staking Vara tokens, so Vara token stakers. And that kind of communicates how the game mechanics influence the tokenomics, and they kind of feed each other, where the Vara token is benefiting from us having more players playing the game and vice versa. Yeah, and that kind of concludes the video game demonstration portion. And thank you. I'll pass back to
Fred. I think just one before you drop off there, Dom, and I think a lot of the questions coming back, and I think it's important to note, is to go into a little bit of detail around the cosmetics in this game, the rare items that are built out into the game design, because in effect, that's really what we will be selling. And that's where the value lies in this product, where we talk about Star Horizon. So I think it's important context to just give them some backstory around the game design and how items. Yeah.
All of the in-game cosmetics will be NFTs that you can see on your character, as you can see here, which is already just creating NFTs that have more value at a base level than your traditional JPEG-based NFTs. But furthermore to that, we've got the cosmetics of the game tying directly into the game design in terms of how they're available to the player, in the sense that the user will do various activities in game that'll have a rarity and drop rate. And that rarity and drop rate then determines that a certain number of man hours need to be put into play for a user to be able to earn certain high-level items. And that in turn gives the high-level items real-world value, because the users have to either spend a large amount of time to acquire the item through doing a difficult in-game activity, or they can purchase the item from someone else. And that's one of these driving factors where how the game design enforces the value of cosmetics in the market. This is the same. This is very similar to the systems that Fortnite uses to give cosmetics value in their markets. And it's very similar to how RuneScape does it as well. The big difference and the thing that's making us a world first is that we're going to be the first people applying these concepts of game design to a crypto and NFT backend, and adding a marketing layer to that as well.
Brilliant.